Welcome to the BEASTwriter podcast. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we're going to be discussing the news that broke out that DeMeco Ryans will be replacing Robert Saleh as the team's defensive coordinator in San Francisco. So let's go ahead and talk about that. And before we go ahead and start that conversation and start off on that topic, I would like to just let everyone know, if you haven't followed me or if you do follow me, you guys know I break it down into three parts. The first one is who are the players or coaches involved. The second one was why the move was made or could be made. And the last but not least parameter is the instant gratification versus long-term gains. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about, well, in this case, it's going to be a coach. So DeMeco Ryans, he replaces Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh is now off to the New York Jets, becoming the head coach over there. And the San Francisco 49ers decided to stay in-house and hire the linebacker coach that came over with Kyle Shanahan's coaching staff when he formulated it back in 2017. So let's go ahead and talk about who is DeMeco Ryans. A lot of people don't really know about DeMeco Ryans. That's why you have me. I actually like DeMeco Ryans. You guys, excuse me. You guys know I'm a huge Alabama Roll Tide fan, and I've been following DeMeco Ryans ever since college, and ever since he busted into the NFL, playing at a very high level. And what they're getting is a really good coach. But let's go ahead and talk about DeMeco Ryans, the player. He was a 2006 second round pick, number 33 overall by the Houston Texans. And again, like I just mentioned, he played for Alabama. Go Roll Tide Roll. And in 2006, he was a tackling machine, even winning Defensive Rookie of the Year honors, and then being a two-time Pro Bowler and one-time All-Pro, playing for the Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if you watch DeMeco Ryans over the years, one word comes to mind when it comes to his game. It was underrated. I mean, this guy was playing at an elite level for a very long time, but for whatever reason, he was always overshadowed, never really getting the recognition that he deserves. And despite showing up in the stat sheet week in and week out, it just never formulated into a perennial All-Pro player or Pro Bowl player for that matter. But make no mistake, DeMeco Ryans was a beast and a good one on the field. He's a true professional both on and off the football field, even during his playing days, and that kind of carried over into his coaching style, what you see today, which is part of the reason why he got promoted to be the team's next defensive coordinator. Now, DeMeco Ryans as an NFL coach, let me just go ahead and just break it down into another parameter, peeling back another layer of the onion to get to the core in terms of what does DeMeco Ryans bring to the table in terms of being an NFL coach. So, for starters, again, he came to the San Francisco 49ers as a defensive quality control assistant under Kyle Shanahan back in 2017. The very next year, he was then promoted to the inside linebackers coach position and was in that position from 2018 to 2020. And now he's been promoted to defense coordinator. So he's worked his way up the ladder internally, which is really nice to see, because anytime you get a guy who's just starting off and then watching him grow and evolve into this guy that you see today, it's really a testament to Kyle Shanahan and the rest of the coaching staff and the players that they have enough trust in DeMeco Ryans to get the job done. Replacing Saleh is no easy task. Whoever steps in and tries to fill his shoes is no easy task, but at the end of the day, they felt that DeMeco Ryans was that guy. And he's well respected by his peers. Coaches, players, and management all give 360-degree feedback in a positive light, and it's very strong. So when you put all those things together, you really get a coach who really knows his stuff, played the game. I think that holds a lot of weight, because anytime a player can relate to a coach who actually played the game and played at a high level, not just played it, he gains instant credibility, I guess you could say. And DeMeco Ryans brings that and more. All right, so again, losing Saleh is no doubt a minor setback. Like I said, that's big shoes to fill. But Ryan is as good a candidate as there is out there. He's going to bring the 3Ds that I like to talk about, and that is discipline, dedication, and determination. Those are the 3Ds that I think DeMeco Ryans will emphasize in San Francisco, because again, what you saw as a player was those exact traits, and what you're going to see out of him as a coach are those same exact traits. You talk about a defensive mentality, players that feed off under Saleh, like the energy that he just brings and the passion that he brings to the game. You're going to find that similar kind of energy level with DeMeco Ryans. And DeMeco Ryans, like I said, let's talk about his skill set and what he looks for in his players. Well, fast, instinctive, tough, passion for the game that I just mentioned, and a strong work ethic. So, all in all, the 49ers could have went in a different direction and looked at a seasoned veteran, maybe a Chris Richard, who was a defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, a coordinator that really would stick with the same scheme that Robert Saleh used in San Francisco. But as you know, I think they were really set on DeMeco Ryans being the next guy. I think this was the internal candidate, front runner, you would say. It was already projected to be looking that way. The players actually, I'm sure they had a strong voice and got their input on, hey, who do you guys want to be the next defensive coordinator? DeMeco Ryans was well received and ultimately, again, got the job. All right, so with Ryan's scheme, it was the right fit, mainly because they're not switching from a 34 base or a 4 to a 4-3 front. They're staying with the same exact scheme, a 4-3 scheme that stays intact. A little guesswork involved in what you're getting with DeMeco Ryans. As I said, the players, coaches, and fans all know what they're getting in return on their investment with DeMeco Ryans. Then the rapport is already there. So that goes, you can't put a price on the rapport, right? Because especially during COVID, it's really difficult to build a strong foundation without actually physically being with those players during the off season or when you're trying to get ready for the upcoming season. So it's really tough. And with DeMeco Ryans, you know what you're getting. The players know what they're getting. I think everyone's on the same page and they got a good hire. So that'll be it for today. I hope you liked what I had to offer. If you did, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of your screen. And there's a little bell icon. Go ahead and click on that bell icon so you get notified every time I come on air. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night. BEASTwriter out.